Capcom. This is the tournament for the new millennium. You'll experience the most exciting battle in history. Let's get ready to battle. Feel the intensity when power and technique collide. Crush the competition. A battle beyond your imagination. Let the martial arts madness begin. 2001 is the year we make contact. Welcome to the revolution. Capcom versus SNK2. Millionaire Fighting 2001.
Hello, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram users. This is FOBL Fuego here with a very special edition of After the salt is cleared, after the dust has settled, and once everything has been done, nearly everyone that's gone to EVO has returned. And I'm here with a very special guest, one of Houston's own. And if you'd like to introduce yourself, sir.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, people. It's a little backwards, but how you doing?
Yeah.
This is Juan Tolbert, a.k.a. Video, coming right at you from Houston, Texas, live. From Detroit, Michigan originally, but now I live in Houston. How you doing?
Oh, doing good. Thank you very much for agreeing to doing this. I wasn't aware that you lived here, so, you know.
Yeah, I'm living here now.
Yeah. So, first things first, how was the trip? Like, I understand you had to go all the way to Vegas. Is everything cool? Everything was all right?
Well, the trip itself, it kind of sucked because that's the airline I chose. It was Spirit, and to speak negatively on the Spirit, I can't stand them. There's always something wrong with them. I had a problem with them last year, the year before that, and now this year, and I'm done with them completely. The trip itself was, it wasn't bad. The plane ride wasn't bad. Coming back wasn't bad, but once I got there, that's when the excitement really kicked in. I don't really get excited for EVO until I land in Vegas. Yeah.
Right. All right, so first things first. Your humble beginnings. Where you from?
Again, originally I'm from Detroit, Michigan. I was born and raised there pretty much all my life. I used to be, if I can get a little personal, I used to be a victim of child abuse by my stepfather. And he was a pretty bad guy. I mean, he was about 6'2", 6'3", about 200 pounds, and I was just a little stick, you know. And video gaming was my escape from reality and the, pressures of being
where you were.
Yeah, so to speak, in the hood back then. Even though the hood wasn't as bad back in my day, but growing up there in Detroit, it's kind of rough. But the survival of the fittest.
Right.
But gaming was my escape from reality, and over the years I'd become to get pretty good at it. So I started venturing off to play in tournaments, and I went to a local arcade called Roscoe's.
Right, in Detroit.
Yeah, in Detroit, and rest in peace, Roscoe's, by the way. And it was a pretty good start for a lot of us gamers that were coming up. I had gotten a lot of recognition in my neighborhoods and everything from beating all the people in the old Street Fighter World Warrior days, and I had got a little bit of a tip from one of the gamer guys there. He said, "Yeah, I know this arcade you should start going to," and he turned me on to Roscoe. So I started going there and competing with a lot of the best there. And I think the first tournament I ever won was Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Okay, so you were a victim of child abuse.
Yes.
Which, I'm sorry to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I do have to ask, I know what got you into gaming, but what did you discover first? What was the game that got you to say, I'm hooked?
Kung Fu.
Kung Fu. NES Kung Fu?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Back in the day, Kung Fu, I liked the physicality of competing. I've always been hooked on fighting. Mm-hmm. I never really was a violent guy growing up, so I chose to channel my anger through the game.
Right.
And I figure if I can beat you down on the game, as opposed to going out and joining a gang or whatever out in the streets and getting in real trouble. I chose to do it on the game. So
Yeah, because you can get away with it.
yeah, I can get away with it there. It's perfectly free and legal, you know.
Right.
So that's what really got me going. It evolved from kung fu to if I can jump forward to some years.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Pit Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I played that. And then Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat, the originals. So
Yeah. So according to your resume of already games that you just listed, you're what we considered an OG.
yeah.
Correct. So you've gone to tournaments, you won a few games, gone to. Do you travel?
Yes, I've been traveling since 1992.
1992.
Yeah, I've been traveling out of state. I've won tournaments in a lot of different states, and I'm very proud of it. I got about, I don't know, over 40 titles in Michigan alone.
Oh, cool.
Ohio, Nebraska, Colorado, New York, Jersey, Vegas.
The most recent.
Yeah, I got a lot of different titles in different games, and it's been a long road, and I really wouldn't change it for anything.
All right. So now that you've come all this way from where you were traveling all over the country, what brings you to Texas?
Well, I came to Texas. I just moved here in January. Here we are in July, and I moved here to start a new life, to get away from Michigan. And I love my home state and I love my home city, but I grew out of it. It was time for me to go. And the only reason I was there so long is because my daughter is there.
Right.
My son is in Georgia with his mother, but my daughter is there, and she was still young relatively, so I couldn't leave her like that. With me as a father, you want to be that protector of your kids, especially your daughter. She's
Right.
always going to be your princess, no matter how old they get.
Especially the daughter.
Yeah, so I was like, no, I can't leave. Now she's 18 and graduated from high school. I left.
Congratulations.
So,
Congratulations.
thank you. Houston, I chose Houston because I have people here that I know that used to work with me at my old company that I used to run, and they know how I work, and they offered me the job here, and I came here and said, hey, I came here to visit to see how it was and got a feel of Houston and everything, and I never left. I mean, I went home to get my stuff and then came back. So
you're like, I'll be right back.
yeah, right back after these messages. So
Yeah.
that's
So-
what I did.
All right. So basically, you kind of like the vibe that Houston gave off.
Yeah, that's Southern hospitality. I love that.
Yeah.
So.
We're generally nice to everybody.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, pretty
when
much.
First of all, I was like, hey, how you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So recently you went to EVO.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Before EVO, there's always a game that you have to decide that you want to play and train at,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I understand for you being an OG, you have, I could assume, and actually say decades
Mm-hmm.
of experience,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, I could say that possibly one game has most of that experience. What is that game that you've been grinding the most at? And if it is that game, are you still playing it now?
The most game that I've played the most throughout the years would be Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh.
And yes, I still bang in that game.
Yeah.
That's my game. I love that game. I mean, it's cheap.
Oh yeah, it's broken. It's broken as heck, but it's fun. It's fun to watch.
It's so fun. And the way I play is a little different from everybody else. So, and I've always had that style of not going with the flow, so to speak. I've always played characters that I want to play or that I like, not that I need to play to get wins. Because to me, winning isn't everything. Losing is a learning experience. And I've lost a lot throughout these years of playing, but I definitely bodied some people too. So experience is everything. And I got a lot of experience in pretty much every game that we play. But Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Capcom vs. SNK 2, I have a lot of experience. So it's a lot of different gamers and vibes and areas and atmospheres that I've played in that helped me a lot to do the things that I've done to people throughout the years. So
Okay. So when you go into EVO, what game did you play at EVO?
I competed
Or
in
games.
Yeah, I competed in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and Capcom vs. SNK 2. Both of these tournaments were side tournaments. They weren't sanctioned.
Right.
So they didn't get as much recognition as all the other games that were on the big screen and everything. But
That's why I'm interviewing now, because I want to give everyone their due, especially if they did well.
Yeah. And it wasn't as big, of course, and we don't have all the sponsors and all the publicity and ESPN and all that coverage and all that, but it's still two godlike games and very, very fun to watch and play and just get the atmosphere of real hype competitiveness and everything that goes with them.
Mm-hmm. So, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, what did you place?
I actually got third. And
third in Marvel vs. Capcom 2?
Yeah, I got third in that. And
you don't mind me asking who sent you to
who
losers?
beat me? Well, who sent me to losers was this guy named Abs. This is a really good friend of mine from California. He's a beast, and he and I have had years of experience beating each other's ass. He usually beats me back and forth, but he knows that I'm a force to be reckoned with in that game.
Mm-hmm. Not to take you lightly.
Yeah, so he knew what to do to beat me, and congratulations to him. We battled in the winners finals, and I think he beat me 3-0 actually. Mm-hmm. And then I was waiting in the losers finals for my opponent, and my opponent was Chaos, and Chaos also from California. Mm-hmm. He's like probably the number one guy there. I mean, he's really, really, really good, and he bodied me too. But I didn't care because I was like so good, so glad to have made it that far, with my team. And not to sound like my team has a disadvantage, but the characters I play on paper, they're not supposed to win, not in that game.
So basically, what you're saying is that they're low tier.
They're low tier in somebody else's hands. In my hands, it's a bad move to come at me.
Yeah.
So
yeah, for me, I never really believed in the whole tier system.
Mm-hmm.
Like saying let's have, Storm, Magneto, Cable,
Mm-hmm.
those if you don't pick those characters, you're not gonna go far. I've always believed in whatever you choose and what you feel comfortable with, and not only that, how much fun you can have with the characters.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because that in itself creates more hype than what not a lot of characters can do. Because we all seen what Magneto can do.
Yeah, all the time.
So you use what quote unquote low tier.
Mm-hmm.
Who are those characters?
In that order, it would be Rogue, Colossus, and Ken.
Rogue, Colossus, and Ken.
2 X-Men and a Street Fighter. Yes, sir.
2 X-Men. Sounds like an inappropriate internet video.
Yep, that's my squad. That's my squad.
All right, okay. I can respect that.
Yes.
I can respect that, especially like in a game where, honestly, wherever I hear Marvel vs. Capcom 2, I think like those characters, like I said,
Mm-hmm.
Top tier, is very, very relaxing to hear, and actually, I'm happy to hear that at least newer characters are starting to shine.
Absolutely.
And getting their hype where it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, also, you were in CVS 2.
Yes.
All right. How far were you in that game?
I got second place.
Okay, so you're in grand finals.
Yes.
Against?
The one and only boss himself. Yeah, he's a beast. I give him all the respect in the world.
Where's Boss from?
He's Japan, one of Japan's #1 killers.
Ooh.
Yes.
USA versus Japan.
Yes, all day. Oh,
my
he
goodness.
bodied me. I can clearly accept that, but that was our first meeting. Our second meeting won't be so easy.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say.
Yeah, you had to feel him out.
Yeah,
now,
absolutely.
Was it just him that, were you in winners or were you in losers?
I was in losers. Who beat me? Oh, my boy, his name is Patrick.
Yeah.
But he goes by You Mother Effer. That's his game. That's his gamer tag. So, but yeah, he put me in losers. It was a really good fight, and then I came back in the losers bracket, met him again, and then I beat him.
Yeah.
And then I fought. I think I fought Bucktooth first, and I beat Bucktooth. I've never beaten Bucktooth in a tournament.
So you're feeling yourself.
Yeah. So I beat Bucktooth, and then I beat Patrick, and then on to Boss himself. So by the time I beat Patrick, and the excitement and the honor that I felt to play against Boss, I was really geeked.
Yeah.
And I wasn't caught up in the moment because I don't really get like starstruck and all that because I have my share of fans and people who love me and come up and ask for autographs and all that too. So I don't really get starstruck. I was just honored to play against one of the Japanese best, if not the best, CBS 2 player. So. I
bet you felt better knowing that you earned the right.
Yeah.
So that's like one of the best feelings to have. You earn the right to play at least the #1 player of that tournament.
Yes.
Because everyone, in my opinion, starts off in the same spot.
Mm-hmm.
You got to work your way up.
Yeah, we're all novice.
Yeah, we're all novice until you make it towards the very end.
Exactly.
And the last two people, to me, I always like that. To me, two different paths,
Mm-hmm.
and they meet in the middle one last time.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they pass one up and then they catch up. Sometimes they just leave them behind.
Yeah,
But
I've seen that.
what I've enjoyed, like especially in tournaments, like I've been doing this for, I would say, since 2011.
Okay.
All right, I've been keeping up with the modern fighting games, and what I liked is that the people that I know, knowing where they started from, especially myself as well, right? We looked at old footage where we used to play, and I tell myself, man, I would kick my own ass, and I feel like, but it shows the dedication that every player has to reach the next level.
Mm-hmm.
You, sir, have gone every time, from what I've heard, you keep doing better at each tournament, correct?
There have been a couple tournaments where I went 0-2. I
Right.
have done that a couple times, but
Oh yeah, but that's part of the.
yeah, just
Not everyone's gonna get
just
top
the
8 every time.
experience alone from all these years of competing, all these years of traveling and meeting like thousands and thousands of people and players and just different personalities and all that. I'm just honored to be able to do what I do still to this day, because some people just give up. Some
Right,
people
yeah.
say, you know what, I'm too old, or this isn't going anywhere, or whatever. I do this because I love to do it. And my main thing when I play is to give the crowd a show. I've always been like that. Give them something to look at, something different, something different from the Magnetos and Storms and Sentinels.
Exactly.
Or the
which I thank you for that.
yeah, or the Blancas, Sagats, and Camis and stuff like that. I've always done something a little different. So
Yeah.
and people appreciate that. So that's what I do.
All right, so you've been traveling all over the world. Well, not to say world, all over the country, right?
Mhm.
I gotta ask you this, man, and it's one gamer to another. What was the saltiest you ever felt in a tournament? There had to have been that one time where you're like, I shouldn't have lost, but it happened.
Man, that's happened a few times where your opponent is not better than you, but they ended up beating you, and
Yeah.
you're like, how the hell did this happen?
There had to have been that one time where you're like, oh, like it could have been an execution error, it could have been timeout, it could have been where they kept you at bay.
Yeah, I can think of a few times with that when playing Marvel, because most people that really know how I play, they don't try to fight me. They beat me by time and running away and spamming and all that crap, and I hate losing by time. That pisses me off so much. I'd rather get perfect than lose by time.
Wow, really?
I really would, man. Time is so boring.
Because at least they fought you.
Yeah, man, yeah. And Marvel, the seconds go by like, for 1 second in Marvel, it's like almost 2 full seconds, like in general. And it's crazy. It's to lose by time in that game, there's got to be a lot of damn running in there. A lot.
Yeah.
But the saltiest time, man.
You might have to go back a few
Yeah,
decades.
everything is flying past my eyesight and my memory and everything. I'm like, damn, what was a time that I was the saltiest? I know last year's EVO, I was salty because I had lost by time. A guy beat me with I was playing Marvel too. A guy beat me with Blackheart, Cable, and Cyclops, which is a 100% running ass team. And
I bet it is.
the people that know Blackheart know all he is designed to do is just jump and demon and air dash and demon and jump and demon and air dash. It's so annoying. Then you got Cyclops, bop, 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 knocking you up into the combo, or Cable, being Cable, jump back, shooting.
Yeah.
I was getting so frustrated, and I usually don't get frustrated, but for some reason that year I got really frustrated. And I said, okay, so I lost. I'm in a loser's bracket, and then my next opponent was just a friend of mine named Ethan. He uses PMS. Well, MSP as they're called, but I call him PMS. But he used them, and I'm looking past him to get back at the guy that just beat me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna body Ethan and then catch back up to the guy that beat me. The guy that beat me is his name Jesse. I think he's from Arizona. Really good guy, but yeah, he beat me. I was just so mad that I lost by that crap. And I just looked past Ethan and was like, you know what? I'm just gonna body him and then get back to Jesse and Ethan beat my ass.
What?
I was like, before I noticed, I was already down. It was 2 out of 3. I was already down a game and down to my last character before I realized,
Like, oh,
damn,
crap.
I'm about to lose. It was so funny. He and I was laughing about that over EVO weekend too.
You're like, oh, God. You're like, you looked at him, you're like, dude.
It was a good feeling for him because he beat me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A lot of people take pride in beating me. Like a lot of younger guys in the game, they look at me and like, oh man, I beat Video. You know, but it was good for him, and it was just really, I was really salty about that. I mean, I was like sweating. I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there like,
He tells you, dude, man, I beat you. You're like, yeah.
Yeah, you
hey,
beat me.
Yeah, everybody gets one.
Absolutely. I was like, yeah, okay, you got me. We didn't get to play this year, but we played again at Defend the North last year in October in New York, and he had my attention then, so I beat his ass. So it was good. But I learned basically my own lesson. You never underestimate anybody, you know, because I was clearly looking past him, like I'm gonna just beat him.
Yeah, because I was like, you've inexperienced, like you've beaten him before. I guess you could say, I'm not saying free, but you knew the matchup.
Yeah, I knew I was going. I mean, I know his team. I know what they're gonna do. I know the setups and all that crap.
So you were like okay, yeah, but I'm looking with.
Yeah.
But then he was
Bodied my shit. It was crazy. It was crazy. He gave me that big old dose of salt, and I was okay with it though. I was good. But he's a good guy. He leveled up, and congrats to him. So it is what it is. I've beaten thousands of people who look at my team or even in CVS and see my team.
I bet you they feel even saltier.
Yeah, and be like, oh, I'm about to beat his, and turn around and get just destroyed. And they like, what the hell just happened? That's exactly what I felt when he beat me. I was like, what the hell just happened? It was funny. It was funny.
All right, so you just told me the saltiest you felt in the loss. What was your greatest win? What was the one win that made you feel like? I'm not like, I understand too. Like it's been like you won a good amount, but there has been one where it felt so good. You're like, I'm glad I came to this tournament. Man. And it doesn't even have to be a win. It could have like in the tournament, like an opponent.
Yeah.
Maybe I should rephrase the question. Your greatest opponent. The like I guess you could say like the one demon that kind of like had your number, but then you were able to overcome. Has that ever happened yet, or is it still?
I don't really have them.
Or still,
you know, I don't really have like people that I feel that I gotta like avenge a loss or whatever. I just do. Everybody that I've ever played, I've beaten them. You know, and it's. So
you're telling me like you are that demon.
Yeah, I guess I could be the demon. I'm a demon for a couple guys now that I can think about it. But yeah, I don't really have like a arch nemesis like that. I had a nemesis growing up, which was my brother Kevin back home in Detroit. He and I were training partners and sparring partners for years. And man, I hated that guy playing him. I mean, I loved him, but playing him, he knew my weaknesses. He knew when I was on attack. I mean, we knew it was like almost a mirror match.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the only person I can really think of that.
Come on, you like beating up your little brother.
He's a lot bigger than me, but yeah.
I mean, you're older, I guess he's like younger or older? Younger?
Yeah, he's younger.
Yeah. Trust me, I have a younger brother that does the same thing with me in Street Fighter 5 right now. That's what he's doing with me. And we live not that far from each other. We live a few houses down. And whenever he'll come over and I'll beat him, I'm like, just go walk home.
Yeah.
And he'll walk. I told him take the salty walk, and then he'll try
salt trail.
Yeah, he'll tell me to go over to his house. I'll be like, nah, man, you don't make me walk. I ain't gonna walk. But so, what's in the future? Because it seems that you're not playing the modern games that are out now. Have you touched any of the modern games just to feel it out?
I played. I mean, if we can jump to like maybe Street Fighter 4 when it first came out, I played it for. I always give a game a chance to see if I like it. All these new games, with the exception of probably Tekken Tag 2, and even that game get on my nerves sometimes, but I'll play it. Nothing really piques my interest. Everything is so gimmicky and so. I mean, there's no disrespect to those that play it. It's just not for me. I have a lot of guys that I mentor and coach and everything back home, and a lot of them are excelled in these games. You know, a lot of my young guys that are training partners and everything, a lot of them look up to me. A lot of them, they play all this stuff. My corn boys back in Michigan, Alucard. You know, he's sponsored by.
I know exactly who Alucard is.
Hollywood Sleep. Play KI, you know, he's another one of my guys.
He won EVO.
Yeah, he won EVO.
And I believe he won Showdown, Texas Showdown.
Yeah, he won that too. Yeah, when he came here.
I was here when that happened. Mm-hmm. I was watching Top 8, and I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. That was the most hype I've seen in KI, and it was the beginning of the KI qualifiers, mm-hmm. and just to see it end at the last hit. I love my boy Bass, dude. I know you're San Antonio. I know you, buddy. I was rooting for him, but I had to throw my hat in, which I had in my hat. I had a cowboy hat. I threw it at I was like, "You won, dude. You earned it." He was like, he stole it from him.
Yeah.
And then seeing him win again at EVO, I'm like,
man,
this is gonna be a very interesting year for the KI World Cup.
Yes, that's what he's going for next. So
yeah.
Good luck to him and all my other young cats out there that's playing from Michigan. They're amazing. I mean, all of them. They all have their own style and unique personalities. Mm-hmm. My boy Chris Carey, he's like, he's an incredible guy and such a powerful personality to be around. You know, he's like the hype man. You know, mm-hmm. He talks so much junk to everybody and gets everybody, you know, that blood boiling. Yeah. You know, he does that.
Yeah, over here we call that the instigator.
Yeah, that's an understatement for him because he's really hyped with the shit and it's crazy. Like the amount of publicity that he's gotten throughout the years just from doing that. I mean, he plays too, mm-hmm. you know, but you know he's a good like promoter and everything, and he's good at what he does. So hats off to him. One of the guys that got all of them together was one of the guys that looked up to me, which was a younger fighter by the name of Brian James. He went by Ali Vegas, and he went by Adonis. He had so many names growing up, but mm-hmm. I always called him a live gas because his name was Ali and then Vegas.
Yeah,
you know, like a live gas.
Yeah, live gas.
Together. But he was a beast, and he still is in Tekken. Him and another guy named Michael Brandt from Michigan, named Gym Master. Mm-hmm. They were some Tekken gods to me, and back then I was too much of an asshole to admit that they were godlike back then, but they used to mollywop my ass, and they used to show me a lot of stuff. But they grew up to become titans, and then they got all these followers under them, which was Alucard and Chris Carey and Feed and all them.
Yeah.
And now look at them branching off, you know what I mean, doing their own thing. So, and they all look up and respect me, you know, and look for input and everything, and you know, ask me for advice and all that. And it's just an honor, you know, to give them, you know, my intellect or my advice on what to do and how to think and how to feel. Because a lot of the gaming, as we all know, a lot of it's mental. Mm-hmm. Oh, and you got to have the right mentality to do this. It's like fighting for real.
Yeah.
Because if you're going with the wrong mentality, you're gonna get bodied.
Yeah, you're not gonna remember what happened.
Exactly.
You're gonna be like, yeah, I'm ready to throw down, and then you wake up in the ditch somewhere. You're like, what happened?
Yep.
So it seems that you built. Or not just you, right? But like mm-hmm. you and some of your peers built the base.
Yeah, we set the tone.
We set the tone.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like we opened the door and they ran through it. You know what I mean?
And then they went through different doors.
Yeah.
Because it's starting to show that a lot of these players from that area mm-hmm. are literally expanding and doing a whole lot better than what a lot of people thought.
Everything back in the day with my brothers, George Massue, Tarian Watson, Kevin Hicks, Uncle Roy, Joe, John Peterson, all of the old school guys that we had, we couldn't only, dream of being like, sponsored, having all this endorsements and money and all this stuff flowing around. So we started, traveling, myself the most, my brother George, my other boy Mike Taz, another friend of ours, Mickey. We started traveling back in '96 to go, and we went to Chicago.
Right.
It was at Super Just Games. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you ever heard of that. But they used to do what was that tournament called? Shit, I forgot.
Was it Combo Breaker?
No, that's before. It's named Combo Breaker now, but back in the day,
that was another name. Okay.
Yeah, back in the day, it was an older name. I forgot the name of it, but
we'll look it up.
Yeah. That's where I met like Graham Wolf and Alex Vi and all the top names back then. That was in '96, That's back when they, they were top names, but they were still learning and everything. That's when I first got like all their attention because we was playing Street Fighter Alpha 2. I think it was like 176 people in it, and I was one of the only Sagat players back then. Nobody played Sagat. I've always been a fan of Muay Thai, so Sagat was always my guy. Sagat, Joe Higashi from SNK, Bruce from Tekken, even though I never really played with him, but I love him.
Yeah.
I was only Sagat that I can remember, and I got 6th. My brother got 7th, and my other boy got 9th, I think. So all 3 of us made top 10. And that was back then. And nobody knew Michigan at all. Nobody expected Michigan because when they found out we were from, they were like, man, where are you from? I was like, Detroit. And it was like, what? And
it was the beginning of the traveling,
yes,
going to tournaments, correct? Because at the time, the internet, was the internet still not as I understand it's not as powerful as it was today, but it wasn't like a huge thing.
No,
then,
that was
right?
back when the AOL and all that stuff.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It wasn't nothing like it is today.
But
back when you had to record all your stuff.
Yeah, with the video cassette. Yep. VCR style.
And then
stuff,
try to transfer it over. Yeah, those were the days back then. But, we got the attention of a lot of gamers there and exchanged numbers and kept in contact and all this stuff. And that's how the beginning started with all of us. We started getting invites to other states to come and play, other cities to come and play, and that's where it began. And to a kid that's fascinated in the gaming world, they look up to you and they see you. Wow, you're doing all this. I want to grow up and do that. Those were the kids that are doing great things now.
Yeah, they're kicking ass in their own right.
Kicking asses, really. I mean, I could not be more proud of them. They're doing a wonderful job, and I'm very proud of them. I tell them all the time, but I'm telling them again, I'm very proud of all of them.
All right. I got 2 more questions,
Sure.
right? This next one. This was announced during EVO before Top 8 Street Fighter 5. I don't know if you watched, but there's going to be an EVO Japan. EVO Japan, all right? I have yet to go to EVO. I've been wanting to go. The last 2 times I've tried, last year I couldn't go. I had a freak accident with my face. Hey, I had concrete face first.
Okay.
Messed me up pretty bad.
I mean, you fully recovered. I couldn't even tell until you said something.
Thank you. And this year, I was already gonna go. Had everything saved up, and then my best friend said, "Hey, I'm getting married. This is the date." And I was like, "Okay, I'm going to the wedding." And my wife's like, "You're not gonna go to EVO?" I'm like, "He's my best friend. I can't." Like, there's always if there's for some reason I miss this one, that means something better is gonna come out.
Yeah.
EVO Japan was announced, and I've already promised that I told my wife we're gonna go to EVO Japan. I'm going for Street Fighter 5. But that's my game right now. Would you go to EVO Japan?
Absolutely.
To get your run back?
Oh, absolutely, man. Absolutely. Just to be in Japan alone, because that was one of my places to go before I die. Lord willing. Japan and Europe. I've always wanted to go there, and if they're having an EVO Japan, then there's a very high possibility that
there's a huge incentive to go over there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I go to every EVO since 2008. My first one was 2003, when it was still in California, Pomona, California.
Was it during what was it called? Was it Castle?
I forgot. It's at the university in Pomona. That's where they did 37 Reloaded.
Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. That was my very first EVO in 2003, and I was hooked from it then, but I didn't go again till another 5 years later. I was able to go to EVO 2008, and I've been every year since. And if EVO is going to do an EVO in Japan, it looks like I'm going to Japan.
That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said.
Definitely.
Well, I guess I'm going to Japan.
Yeah, just to play oh my God, the Japanese are so amazing, and they're so humble and so skilled. It's incredible how they do in their reaction time and everything. But to go on their home turf and battle with them, I mean, a lot of them.
I think it's about time that we actually do go over there.
Yeah,
because they've been coming over
for years.
Yeah,
they've been coming here for years. So yeah, we can do them the same courtesy, same respect. Absolutely. So yeah, I don't. If it's going to be next year, then I'm probably going to start saving up around like January, and then hit
I'm gonna start working turnarounds.
Yeah.
So, last question: is there any funny stories?
Man, it's amazing. Yeah.
If you could, like, we still got time. You can take however long you want to take. But, like, is there a story that every time you go to EVO, it's like, man, I remember this happened, and it still makes you laugh to this day? It doesn't even have to make you laugh, but like to enjoy it, like something like a fun memory.
Well, yeah, I think 2 years ago at EVO, a bunch of guys met up over a friend, Jesse, his house, because he lives out there, and he had like a Marble 2 salty suite where it was like probably 20 of us in his house.
You're right.
And we played until like literally 8 in the morning the next day. Come time to leave, I mean, the guys are drunk and high and everything, and we're leaving, and my good friend Daniel Gonzalez, he tries to call us a cab. He's on hold for like 12 minutes. Then they finally pick up the phone. I think they ended up hanging up on him by accident. So he called back and left on hold again. Now, being on hold as a customer or as anybody, 1 minute can seem like a day. You're like, damn, how long have I been on hold? He looked up, he was on hold for 12 minutes. He had a full conversation with somebody and then looked at his phone and was like, damn, I'm still on hold. It was so funny. So he finally got a hold of somebody. And the guy he was talking to was rude to him. He was like, of all things, I've been waiting on hold for you guys. You're going to be rude? What kind of customer service is that? And all this blah, blah, blah. So he wanted to speak to a manager. So he was on hold for like another 10 minutes. He was so mad. His face was turning red. And I don't drink or smoke. So I'm looking at him like, man, you look like you so wasted right now. It's so funny. He was so mad. His eyes were shaking. He looked like he was like on meth or something because he was like really mad.
Right.
So once he finally got a hold of the person that came back, the guy that I think put him on hold came back to the phone and said, oh, by the way, I'm the manager. So he was like, okay, well, I need to know you guys' location or some type of information so I can speak to your superiors and all that stuff. He trying to get all corporate.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, just have them send a damn cab. We ready to go. We was tired. We was hungry. I wanted to shower because we had been in the house all night with them dudes. I wanted to get in the shower and get all that off me. So the guy told him, I'm not sending a cab to you. After all that, he said, I'm not sending a cab to you. And Daniel was so mad. He was cussing and everything. And he got off the phone, and we ended up getting a cab from a different company. And they finally showed up like maybe an hour later.
Whoa.
All of us, now, they had already kicked us out. So we're outside in front of his house. There's like 8 or 9 of us outside. Maybe more than that. It was one car that one guy drove.
Oh, no.
He packed his car and he hit it. So it was like, I want to say 6 of us that was just sitting on there waiting. And the car that showed up, the cab, it was, I think, like a Lincoln Town car or something like that. All of us piled in that car. It was crazy. It looked like a clown car because all of us, I mean, we was on each other's laps, kicking each other in the nuts and everything. It was crazy.
And was it not only that? Did you also have y'all's like arcade sticks?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Man, it was crazy.
So it was packed.
Yeah, it was packed. But the like the back of it, we were able to put like our bags and sticks and everything in. But man, I was so uncomfortable. And the ride was like maybe 15 minutes long, but it felt like 5 days. Because he couldn't really go too fast, you know what I mean? Because it was so many of us in the car, man.
The people were weighing the car down.
Yeah, man. It's like, and the car was shaking like, boom, 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 boom. Oh my God, it was so funny. We talk about that every year, man. It happened like 2 years ago, but we talk about it every year throughout the year, and then we really talk about it again at EVO.
Yeah.
Because we was all pissed off, but it was so funny, man. Definitely, I'll never, ever, ever forget that.
It always seems that the worst things not like saying the worst, but like the unfortunate things that happen, or for some reason the most fond of to remember because you look at it now, you're like, man, that was.
Oh yeah,
was like he goes, yeah, I was mad, but that's some funny ass shit.
It's definitely funny, man. I mean, it's good that you first of all that you're able to look back and laugh on it. You know what I mean? You chalk it up as another experience, and you just hit it from there, man. I mean, like they say, what doesn't kill you make you stronger.
Right.
So of course you should be able to look back and laugh at a lot of things that we've done in our lives. I know I can, and so. That was just one of them. But yeah, it's a lot of different stories that we could talk about, funny things. It's hilarious.
All right. So then the last thing is for any new aspiring gamers that want to get into the FGC, that want to compete. What would your advice be to them?
My advice is simple. Be who you are. Control your passion. Go out there and show the world what you're made of. Don't let anybody knock you for what you do. No matter what it is, don't let anybody bring you down. Nobody can bust your bubble but you. If you want to do it, you can do it. We have people, the guy that won the Smash tournament. Man, that was,
$100.
I have no idea who this guy is. But from seeing that video when he won, I love this kid because he was, his story, you know what I mean, of him on the stream and saying what he went through and how his dad
told him he was never gonna be the best. That's like the worst thing you tell a kid.
And then his dad had died, and then he come back to win. I think he got second the year before, but then this time he won. That was absolutely beautiful, man. And
he cried on stage.
I would have been I'd still be crying.
Yeah,
if it was me, definitely.
When I saw it happen, the genuine look on his face,
man,
of accomplishment, and I'm like, no one could take away that moment from him.
Never, ever.
He earned that right.
You want to be that guy that does something like that. You know, you want to be the one that stands out. Don't follow the same path. Do what you do. You know what I'm saying? You can do it. You just gotta put in the work. Nothing is free. Nothing is given to you. You know, from the richest to the poorest, nothing is given to you. So you got to get out there and earn it. You know what I mean? And you got to accept your losses. Don't let a loss deter you from what you really want to do and what you feel, because we all have doubts. We've all had our
moments,
our disbeliefs of why should I do this and what is it in for me, and all. You know, go out there and do it and make the best of it. That's it. That's what I did.
Yeah.
I'm satisfied with what I've done. So
and look how far it's taken you. You've gone to EVO plenty of times, and not only that, you've gotten third in Marvel 2 and second place
to boss. Yeah. I mean, some people will look back and like, are you bragging about third? First of all, that's the second time I've came in third at EVO.
A lot of people don't realize when people reach top 3, and people are like, oh, you got third in a tournament, like, you're talking about players that are constantly trying to hone their crafts, and you were able to get past them
in advance. Better than guys that are way better than me, you know.
Yeah.
And in that tournament, I beat a lot of great guys, and it was a murderer's row of competitors there, and I'm glad. I mean, I'm proud of what I did. You know, I'll take 3. I'm very proud of my third. So.
Well, you're saying that you were number 2 in the tournament, but to me, you're number 1 since you were the last American standing. So, in my heart, you won first place, my friend.
Yes.
You're like, to me, just like L.I. Joe. He was the last standing American. Did you watch any of the ESPN footage?
I didn't.
But did you watch the stream?
I saw when he won, when he beat what's that one Japanese guy? Oh my God.
There's so many. Eita.
Probably, I don't know. You can say any name and I'd be like, yeah, but he won, and he was like, just to be on that stage, because EVO, I tell everybody, EVO is like the WrestleMania of gaming tournaments.
Oh, yes, it is.
And that platform, like it was this year, in front of all those thousands of people, was absolutely historical. And to be on that stage and to win, oh my God. Joe is my boy as well. I've known him for years, and oh my God, I felt his emotions through the stream looking at it. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
There was a thing that had happened during the stream of ESPN2 while it was happening on the channel. A lot of the people from the outside, they were complaining about what is this? Why is there gaming on ESPN2? One of the comments that I read was, and it's kind of where the outsider doesn't understand what we're doing.
Yep.
He made the remark of, these Japanese kids never been beat up young, so that way they could get a real job. My response was, athletes now, and when they get older, with all due respect, their health is deteriorating. They can't walk anymore. They can't use their arms. They can't feel anything. What these guys are doing, they're using their minds, their reflexes. even though they're from other countries, they're showing you what Street Fighter is.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, we have not only a Korean in there, but an American that is, to be quite honestly, from other countries, we're not the best in these games.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I felt so much hype going into it. All the other tournaments I saw, I was happy. That was cool. I was impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but when Street Fighter V came on, I was jumping up and down. I was cheering. My wife was actually invested what she was watching.
Mm-hmm.
And to actually make it to that stage of saying, like, we actually made it to national television.
Mm-hmm.
201,000 viewers on national television. That alone. That's not including the Twitch numbers.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Man.
That alone got me thinking too. I'm like, this is just the beginning of what could possibly go further. EVO Japan is possibly the next venture. We won't know until September when they announce something at Tokyo Game Show, right? How would it feel if CVS 2 got the same love?
Oh man. CVS 2. And they still play CVS 2 out there. So that's why I really would love to go to Japan and play. But just to know that my game is up there and be able to get that coverage and that much hype going, man, I can't even say what it would be, for real. Because my two favorite games are Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and then CVS 2. Mm-hmm. If they were to get that type of push,
you'd be all over it.
Yeah, I'd probably walk to Japan. So, I'd be like Ryu for real, just walk to Japan.
All right, video. All right, I can respect that. So, is there anything else you want to say to the viewers, to anyone that's listening to this? Any shout outs before I say you can go home now?
Just thank you for all my people, all my friends, all my family, all my fans that have supported me throughout the years. It's been an amazing ride. I'm still going to do what I do. Mm-hmm. I'm still going to try to wow the crowd and give them something different to look at every time I play. You know, sometimes I drop combos here and there trying to be cute, trying to showboat, but it is what it is.
Actually, for some reason, that's more hype.
Yeah, it is what it is. But to my NWO brothers, George, Terrell, Kevin, Chad, Eugene, and then all of my hate family, we call them, it's called Team Hate.
H8, right?
Yeah, H8. Yeah.
Okay, I've heard of them.
Yeah,
yes.
I love all of my brothers and all my rivals and my mentors. I just thank everybody. My New York guys. Without New York, for real, Yipes and Wong and Sanford and 360 and Matrix and Desmond and
Chris G.
My boy. Well, I never played Chris G, but
shout out to Chris G too.
Yeah,
for
Chris
winning
G. Yeah, absolutely. Good
man.
job on that. But without them, man, I wouldn't really be able to do what I've done because they helped, like, beating me down for so many years. Mm-hmm. It really, really helped me, hone my skills, and I love them forever for that, man. Chicago, too. Chicago, the killers in Chicago is ridiculous. Mm. CVS and Marvel 2 competition all over the country I've been, and it's great. I just thank them so much for the experience and turning me into the guy I am today, Next tournament, I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to be going, but if there's an EVO Japan, there's an 8 out of 10 chance that I'll be there. So.
I'll probably see you over there too.
Yes.
Yeah, because so. I'm training right now as we speak. So do you have any social media like Twitter? Do you have a Facebook?
I have a Facebook, Juan Tolbert. People can hit me up. It's JuanTolbert. I haven't gotten on Twitter yet. Mm-hmm. I should, I guess.
It's easier, to be honest with you.
Really?
It's easier. Now it's less character. You got to write, so much stuff, and they just tweet. And then if you want to talk about something, just put hashtag at something, then that's it. It's not really that hard.
Okay.
For a player of your caliber, I would suggest get a Twitter.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of the like Vi and John Choi and a lot of them other guys from my Cali guys, they were telling me, yeah, man, you need to get a Twitter. I'm like, why?
More exposure.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, more exposure, and not only that, like people will actually get to you a lot easier. Mm-hmm. So, video, thank you again so much, sir, for doing this podcast.
Yes.
I'm honored that I actually got to interview someone that actually went to the big stage
Yes.
and performed well as you did.
Thank you. I'm honored for being here. Thank you so much.
Oh, pleasure's all mine. All right, fighters. You see you next time. And remember, keep on fighting, fighters. Good night.